So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Tesla chair, and there's a patient currently undergoing core therapy treatment. Core muscles are the strongest muscles that actually hold your body upright and intact, to say so, in place. Now, we all know that we can exercise and we can build our muscles, which is the right way to do it. But sometimes you need that extra push. At other times, there are people who cannot actually exercise for medical reasons, for physical reasons, and maybe even time constraints. And then there is the other subset, athletes, marathon runners, who need that extra push just to get their game up and, get the edge over other people. So this is where this gorgeous device comes in. The technology being used here is pretty similar to what we use in MRIs. So there's no radiation, there are no electric currents, it's purely magnetic. We use magnetic waves to stimulate those muscles. We're giving our patient 50,000 contractions in half an hour. And he's on this chair getting a treatment which covers his bottom, the back, and the abdominal muscles, which is what makes up your core. The treatment is virtually painless because we have lymphatic drainage that is interspersed with the active contractions, which makes sure that you don't accumulate toxic metabolites, and it's not like an oxygen deprived exercise. So you've got these supramaximal contractions, you've got lymphatic drainage, you've got improved blood circulation. The patient will have a comfortable treatment, and when he's finished, he's not going to be as sore as most people are. The treatment works very well for patients of all age groups. I find personally it is extremely good for slightly older people who cannot exercise but also have other comorbidities. They struggle to get up and down the stairs, to get in and out of the chair. Now, few sessions on the core therapy building machine is going to make sure that your mom and dad are actually more independent and physically able. And that is why this device was originally made. It was a rehabilitation piece of equipment. It was designed for patients who'd spent a long time in hospitals, in intensive care, women with urinary incontinence, which, as we all know, can be life-changing and hugely debilitating. The idea was to build those muscles up without surgical intervention, and the results were absolutely amazing. Taking on from that, quite a few companies launched this device into the health and fitness sector and into the aesthetic sector. We can pretty much give people a six-pack abdomen. We can tighten your calves. If you're a cyclist, build those calves up. We can increase the girth of your thighs. If you are a runner or a swimmer, we can improve your triceps, biceps, your shoulders. Just give those younger patients the extra push. But once again, it's hugely beneficial if you actually have an underlying health condition. Something I would really like to talk about today is Lyme's disease and fibromyalgia, or chronic pain syndromes. Now, these patients or these friends and family who suffer from these diseases are hugely, fobbed off by doctors, by physiotherapists, because we really don't have an answer to their problems, but their pain is real. And every time they see someone, they're asked to exercise and keep their muscles active so they don't degenerate further. But they can't really exercise, and I have seen quite a few patients with this condition. For someone like that, this is an amazing, amazing solution. You are going to get those muscle contractions, you're going to get that exercise, there is no pain, your joints are not hurt, which brings us to arthritic patients who cannot actually physically perform that kind of exercise. My knees aren't that great anymore, I'm not 20 years old, I struggle to do squats. Enter the TESLAFormer. It gives you a beautiful bum lift. It builds those gluteus muscles up without the pain, without the aggravation, without actually hurting your joints. So for people with any issues, muscle problems, neurological problems, arthritis, here's your answer to all your fitness problems. So I'm going to talk about some of the other devices that are on the market. Now, this technology is not new. This technology has been around for quite a while. As I explained to you before, we have deployed it in medicine. We've used it for patients with urinary incontinence, for rehabilitation, physiotherapy, etc., etc. Deriving from that technology, quite a few companies have launched their products. The differences between the product lines can be quite stark. This was one of the first ones in the market, the original technology. To the best of my knowledge, it is one of the strongest pieces of equipment out there. There are competitors, there are other brands out there, but they do not deliver the 50,000 contractions in half an hour, which this machine does. In addition, there are clinical papers, there are studies that are backing this kit. It's not just celebrity endorsements. They're usually to be taken with a pinch of salt. And finally, this gorgeous device is the most economical and reasonable piece of kit you can afford, either as a medical practice or as a patient, because they do not charge you per shot they deliver. And if you're someone who's going to need this treatment for a long time, it makes a huge difference to your pockets. So think about that, people, before you sign up for sessions.